Hi, I'm Em, and this is the Knit You Up vlog. Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Em. I'm a knitter and pattern designer living in British Columbia, Canada. And this is my cozy little corner of the internet where I share all of my thoughts about knitting, crafting, designing. Well, sometimes I'm too anxious for that. So welcome back. If you've already been here, today is going to be a short and sweet episode all about my knitting indecision, because sometimes I fall in love with yarn and I have too many ideas for it. So this is a this or that, where I'm going to show you some yarn that I have in my stash and some potential patterns that I might want to knit them in. I have my handy dandy iPad here with all of the pattern information and stuff, so I'll try to look at the camera, but just in case, I'm looking down a lot. That's why I'm just reading so I don't forget anything. And I'll try to link everything in the description. Other than that, let's jump in. First up, these skeins have been in my stash for years because as much as I love bright colors, bright red for me is hard. I always feel so self-conscious wearing it, but I love it and I want to wear it more. And I fell in love with these skeins from ZZ Textiles in the color Puffer Coat. This was from Rachel's Norway collection. And I have a sweater quantity of fingering weight yarn and of Kid Silk Lace, which is a Mohair. Beautiful, and it's been in my stash for forever, really. I really want to use it. So some options, I'll pop, maybe I'll scooch over a little bit to create a space, but I'll pop the pattern photo on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Part of me really wants to go deep into texture with these colors. And one such idea that I fell in love with is the Checker Plate Sweater by Lily Kate France. It's got a fun all over texture. I used to have a sweater from Gap actually that had a similar, it was chevrons, but kind of a similar idea. And I wore the heck out of that sweater. So I feel like this would get a lot of wear. One potential modification that I could see myself doing is not making it a mock neck and instead just doing a regular crew neck. But we'll see if that ends up being the thing that I do. It's got kind of a classic boxy shape, but then some tapered sleeves, which I appreciate. And I just think it would be so fun in this beautiful red color. Actually, someone I follow on Instagram, Brittany, she did a hot pink checker plate sweater, and that convinced me even more that bright red would look amazing. But of course, I am indecisive and just there's too many cute sweater options out there. And I was like, okay, but what if I wanted it more classic without texture? And I could do something like the Brora Pullover Light by Brianna Mason, which is just classic. Fuzzy, boxy, drapey. It has that mock neck like the checker plate sweater does. I do enjoy wearing a mock neck. I like how it looks. I do wonder if a mock neck would maybe be a little itchy with the mohair, which is why I'm kind of thinking for the checker plate I might modify it into a crew neck. But they're really similar in a lot of ways, the two patterns. But so basically it's like, do I want texture or do I want simple stockinette? And I just can't decide. So let me know, what would you do with these colors? I think I'm leaning towards the checker plate sweater. Oh, it's so tough. I don't know. Let me know in the comments which one you think would be fun. Next up is a yarn that I spoke about well, I guess I've spoken about all these yarns in my yarn reorganization video, but this one that I remember speaking at length about. This is the Le Petit Lambswool by Biche et Bûche. I've only brought one skein of it out, but I have, I think, six full skeins and then a half skein of this. It's in the colorway Candy or Bonbon, and it's, let me get a little closer, see if that'll work. It's a beautiful collection of blues and pinks and purples, but from far away it looks gray. And I love that. I love the trompe-l'oeil effect of the way the colors are milled together. So it makes it feel very versatile, but also very unique. And I feel like I want to make something extra special that really highlights the yarn itself. And part of the reason why I want to make something extra special too is because this was very kindly gifted to me a few years ago by my auntie, who has now passed on. So I want to make sure that this is a garment, it's being made into a garment that I will cherish and wear constantly and not just get tucked away at the back of my closet. So I think the pattern that I had mentioned in my reorganizing video was the book club cardigan by Sari Nordland, which I have always wanted a big gray cabled cardigan like this. And I think it would be so fun to see how all of the little different colors show up through the cabling. The only downside is I would probably have to go and purchase a few more skeins so that I could hold the yarn together to hit gauge, because the gauge on the pattern is a worsted weight, and this is a very, very light fingering, like, I don't know if you can kind of see, but very light fingering, very lofty. So that's the only thing that's kind of making me hesitate, is I would have to supplement some extra skeins, but the outcome would probably be worth it. Another option, again, a more simple kind of option, is this open collared pullover called Rue du Bac by Marie Renier. And it's got a beautiful European shoulder construction, I will say a pretty deep V, but in a very classic kind of polo style, very relaxed. This would really, again, let that yarn shine, let all of those colors shine, but it would still be immensely wearable. It would be like a super comfortable sweatshirt, basically. And I know I'd get a lot of wear out of that, and it would knit up really quickly. And it's only a sport weight gauge for this pattern, so I could probably hold this double and not have to supplement skeins, or I could do some math and go down a couple needle sizes or something to just work with what I've got and make it a super drapey, beautiful fabric. So I don't know, I think they both have merit. And again, it just goes down to, do I want texture or do I want simple stockinette? And I'm really stuck on it. I can't decide. I think both of these patterns would be an instant love in my closet. Like, I think both would get a ton of wear. So it really is just a matter of, do I want cables or do I want stockinette? And it's so hard. Like, the yarn, I think, would work for both. My only thing is, of course, having to hold more skeins together to do the book club cardigan. So maybe I should save that for like an actual worsted weight yarn. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll hold off until after Knit City Vancouver in the fall. And if I fall in love with a cool worsted weight yarn, maybe I'll do we'll see. I don't know. This is why I'm making this video, because I'm so indecisive. It's so hard to pick, and designers are coming out with so many cute patterns, and I have patterns that I want to design, and I have all of this gorgeous yarn, and my brain is just overloaded. I just can't decide in a good way. Like, I love this explosion of creativity, but also I just want to knit my yarn. I want to use my yarn. I want to make clothes. I just can't decide, and it's driving me nuts. So I'm putting it out to you. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment away. It looks really grungy, okay? Don't judge. It was used and ripped out. Sad little skein. I have two full skeins, or two mostly full skeins of, again, this is ZZ Textiles Mohair. This is in the colorway Oak. It's a beautiful rusty copper kind of color, and it's got so much depth to it, and I want to make kind of a layering piece with this, that much I know. And I have two ideas. One I say would lean more Y2K, and one is definitely more feminine and romantic with capital R. So the first one is the Zephyr Pullover by Emily Chen. This is, to me, it reads a little bit more Y2K. This would be a great layer for like the summer to fall transition or late spring. I'm envisioning this with like wide leg linen trousers and just a cute little camisole underneath. I love the wide sleeves on it, and I think the ribbing throughout the sweater just gives it this little hint of something without taking away from the effect overall. And I could see that looking really cool with this. And in a similar way, I have always loved the Aura sweater by Ginkgo Bee. It's a classic shape, classic silhouette. I do really like a flounce or a peplum, like my cottage core crop that I knit last summer. I love the extra little something around my waist. Kind of balances out my broader shoulders, I feel. So I would definitely see this being part of my wardrobe. And again, this would be an excellent transition layer for like early fall, or for dressing up like a spaghetti strap dress in the winter months when you're going to like Christmas parties and stuff like that. So really similar idea there, but different shapes. And I just don't know what shape I want to go for, what I would be more likely to get more use out of. But I definitely think, and you know what, now that I'm just thinking about it, my cottage core crop was made in a fingering weight ZZ Textiles Oak. So if I did the Aura sweater, it would be kind of be like a fancy, very wintry layering version of the cottage core crop, which I kind of like the idea of. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I've already done that, kind of like that kind of silhouette with this color. So should I switch it up? I don't know. Both are great options, I think, and both have their own kind of timeless aspect to it. So I feel like I'm just going to be saying I don't know all the time here. Like, really just, I don't know. Also, if you have had an experience knitting any of these patterns and loved it, please let me know, because sometimes just looking at like the Ravelry page doesn't give you a very good idea of the pattern itself, like how it's written, how it's laid out. So if you have any feedback about any of the patterns that I mentioned in terms of, you know, legibility or the actual process of knitting it, let me know, because I'm always here for those kinds of insights. I love being able to gather as much information as possible before I make my final decision. Which is probably also why I haven't made any decisions so far. Okay, I have two more yarns that I want to show you. One is a yarn combo and one is a single yarn. So again, going back to bright colors, Bright pink is something that I love. I love, 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 love bright pink. And yet I actually don't have that much pink in my wardrobe right now. I had to get rid of a bunch of my pink things. They just weren't suiting me anymore. So I did buy at Flockfest, Flock Fiber Festival in August of 2024. I bought these skeins from Katie Sue of the Scranton Stitcher. The fingering weight one is strawberry milk. And then this is a Surrey lace, which I love. I'm obsessed with it. And this is in the color Cherry Jam. So they're not a perfect match, but I think the slight variegation and difference in color will create a beautiful fabric, finished fabric. And I think I want this to be a really classic go-to pink sweater, at least for the first hand knit pink sweater that I make. So I have two kind of options. One is more of a classic sweater and one is kind of a cardigan style. So some difference there, and I think both would be beautiful, and that's just why I'm struggling to decide, because I kind of want a pink sweater. I kind of want both of these patterns knit up in pink. Let's put it that way. That makes sense. We're good. So the first one is the Relax Tee by Amy Scher. It's just a classic. It's got some garter stripes, which just elevates it from a basic pullover, adds a little extra interest. I think that would really pull out these. Hold on, let me come a little bit closer. There's these like darker, almost red variegation through Cherry Jam. And I think the garter ridges would really help draw the eye in so that you're catching more of those variations in color and tone. And I think that would be really nice. And it would be quite a mindless knit, like it's in the round. I think it's top down. Yeah, top down. I love a top down pattern. So it would just be like a perfect all the time knit that I know I'd really enjoy. But on the other hand, I fell in love with the Cara Wrap cardigan from Rebecca Clow. And I think this would be like so girly in the best way, like very pop ballet core almost. I feel like I'm just throwing words at you right now. But then part of me is like, is it too cheesy to make like a ballet style wrap cardigan in pink? But then this is like a brighter pink than you'd see in a ballet studio, so maybe it works. And I think a wrap style is always flattering. And what I like about Rebecca's pattern is the wrap isn't too low. I feel really uncomfortable when my chest is very exposed. So this has a higher cross, a higher V, so it's not too low. And I think that would really let me get a lot of wear. And it's such a great way to dress up just any pair of jeans or even like linen trousers to throw on like a cute little wrap top with a little tie and then some like ballet flats or something. Instant elevation. Like even if my hair is messy and up like this, I feel like I'd feel so put together. So that one again just goes to more like, I think in the moment I'll decide, because it'll be, do I want simple top down where I can predict everything that's happening, or do I want something slightly more involved? So I think for this one, I might be leaning towards the Cara wrapped cardigan, but we'll see. We'll see when I actually get around to casting this on. Maybe I'll change my mind last minute, but I'm very excited to cast it. Maybe I'll cast this on next. No, I have so many things that I need to finish. Okay, focus. Put the yarn down. Don't run away with your fantasies. Okay. I am a mess. I am a chaotic mess right now, and that's okay. Okay, I have one last yarn that I'm kind of humming and hawing over. I don't know what this is. I don't have the band anymore. I caked it up thinking I was going to cast it on and just never got around to it. But it's definitely from some kind of mill brand. Like, I think mill is in their brand name. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to try and find it, but this was a one-of-a-kind colorway. So it's not even something I could get more yarn of. And these are bigger skeins than normal. Like, I have 2 of these cakes, so it's not an insignificant amount. And the color variation in this yarn is stunning. Like, this is such a deep, rich olive green. It's got olive, there's a bit of like pine in there, there's gold and russet. It's so good. And I think that's why I haven't decided what I want to knit yet, because I really want, it's gonna be so good. I just need to make my choice. So with the yardage that I have, I can do a lot with it. Part of me, again, kind of wants to just go simple and do like a full-on turtleneck. So I'm kind of thinking about the Noma sweater by, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. I'm so sorry if I don't. Anne Fiskun Sunde. Sund? The Noma sweater. I'll have it here. It'll be linked down below. Just a big, comfy, oversized, and I would stretch this yarn to its max. Like, I would make it as long as I can with big, long sleeves and use as much of the yarn as possible just to make it this super oversized, like, hug of a sweater. Now, hers, it is listed as a light fingering gauge. She uses a lace and a light fingering held together, and I would want to just hold this yarn single. I wouldn't want to hold it with a mohair because I want to let all of those colors really sing. So part of me wonders if maybe I should save that pattern for something that I do have a mohair for, or like a Surrey lace, to really get that like big blanket hug sweater kind of feel. But also, like, I have a decent amount of yardage for this, and I feel like it would still look really nice, and the lack of a fluffy fiber would just lend more drape to it. So I don't know, like, I would probably have to make a swatch to see how it blocks, and see if I like the fabric. Another option for this would be the Larch Pullover by Paula Leem. So sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but it's a beautiful circular yoke, texture up top, and then simple stockinette on the rest of the sleeves and body. Now, I do struggle with circular yokes because, again, I have wider shoulders for my frame, so I struggle to find the right size and like figure out any modifications for circular yokes on my body. But I feel like with the texture, it would open up with blocking enough where I could gently stretch it to fit the way that I want it to. And I think it would just be like a step up from a basic vanilla sweater, but still give the yarn time to shine. And I feel like I've said that for all of these yarns. I really have. But yeah, that's just kind of the name of the game. I want to show off all of these beautiful hand-dyed yarns that I have, and I just can't decide. So again, please leave your thoughts, insights down in the comments. I am very much a mood knitter, so I probably won't make any decisions until I actually find the urge to finally cast on, and then it'll be like a random inspired moment, potentially. That's typically how I work, but I've been thinking about these a lot, and this is kind of what I've narrowed it down to, so I feel pretty strongly that it'll be one or the other of the patterns that I've spoken about, and not some random wild card option. So let me know what you think. Nice short video for today. If you liked this video, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram as well for lots more discussions about yarn and patterns and my own upcoming designs, which I'm hoping to share more about in the future. And for now, I hope you enjoyed this video and happy knitting. Bye.